Welcome to the Willow Creek online training program. Today we're going to go over the risks of the Wasatch again. This is Module 3, which is related to lightning. The purpose of this module is to discuss the various risks associated with living along the Wasatch Front. In this module we will discuss weather risks, specifically lightning strikes. The majority of this information was taken from the Utah Natural Hazards Handbook 2008. All right, let's get started with weather risks. And again, what we're talking about here today is lightning. And it's a fairly significant risk. I was surprised as I was preparing this. Hazards induced by weather events such as floods, tornadoes, deadly lightning, winter storms, extreme hot or cold claim the lives of more than 500 Americans annually and injure another 5,000. Okay? In Utah, lightning has claimed more lives since 1950 than any other thunderstorm-related hazard. Lightning safety outdoors. So we're going to start with if you're outdoors. Number one, you want to be the lowest point. Lightning tends to strike the highest point that conducts electricity the best. So be the lowest point. Lightning usually strikes the tallest object. In mountains, if you're above the timberline, you are the highest object on the object around. So if you get above this tree line there, that's a dangerous when a thunderstorm comes through. Quickly get below the timberline, get into a grove of small trees. Crouch down if you are in an exposed area. Again, you want to be the lowest point. Keep an eye on the sky. That's always a good thing when trying to stay out of trouble with thunderstorms. Look for darkening skies, flashes of lightning, or increased wind, which may be signs of an approaching thunderstorm. Listen for the sound of thunder. That's another good indicator, obviously. If you can hear thunder, go to a safe shelter immediately. And so here you can see that looks like clouds coming into our Wasatch, doesn't it? And that looks like it could be a thunderstorm. You wouldn't want to be above the tree line in that situation. If you see lightning, hear a thunderstorm coming, or your hair stands on end, okay, that would be a good indication that you're at high risk there. Immediately suspend your game or practice and instruct everyone to go inside a sturdy building or car, preferably a building, but a car is second best there. If no sturdy building is nearby, a hardtop vehicle with windows closed will offer some protection. The steel frame of the vehicle provides some protection if you are not touching the metal. Obviously, metal is a great conductor of electricity, so you don't want to be touching the shell of the car that's metal. And this is okay. Look at this person's in the car. They don't have their hands against any metal parts, and that's your best opportunity should you have to use car for protection. If you can't get to a shelter, stay away from trees. Okay? And I know it said when you're in the tree line, it said to go down. It's also said to get in smaller trees. So I know there's a little conflict there. If there's no shelter, crouch down in the open, keeping twice as far away from the tree as it is tall. So if you have a 20-foot tree, let me see, twice, so 40 feet out is what you'd want to do in that case. That's a good rule of thumb. Let me read that again. If there is no shelter, crouch down in the opening, in the open, keeping twice as far away from a tree as it is tall. There you go. Avoid leaning against vehicles for the reason we just told you. Get off bicycles and motorcycles. Get out of the water. It is a great conductor of electricity. Water is not a good place to be when lightning strikes. For one thing, it strikes there and you think, oh, it didn't hit close, it didn't hit me, I'm okay. Electricity travels through water. Because why? It's a great conductor of electricity, so it's very important that you understand that. In a thunderstorm, stay off the beach and out of small boats or canoes. So hopefully if you're boating or canoeing, you're kind of keeping an eye on the weather. And if you see a thunderstorm coming in, it's time to get out of there. If caught in a boat, so now you're caught in it, you didn't get out in time, crouch down in the center of the boat away from metal and hardware, which is fine unless you're in an aluminum boat. That's the worst case scenario because aluminum is a great conductor of electricity. Swimming, wading, snorkeling, and scuba diving are not safe during a thunderstorm. I think you already knew that. Lightning can strike the water and travel some distance beneath and away from its point of contact. So be aware of that. During a thunderstorm, avoid metal. Metal, as we already mentioned this, it's a great conductor of electricity. That's why you don't want to hold on to the outside of the car. Drop metal backpacks. You know, a lot of those backpacks have aluminum frames on them. That's just waiting for an accident to happen during a thunderstorm. So drop metal backpacks, stay away from clotheslines, fences, exposed sheds, and electrically conductive elevated objects. You know, I grew up in agriculture area in southern Idaho, and every year there's usually young kids. They'd grab those aluminum pipes they used for irrigation, and they'd carry them along, and they'd hit an electrical power line. It would kill them instantly. And so it was very sad. But same thing with those storms. If you're carrying a big aluminum pipe, you could get, you're just asking for lightning to hit you. So be aware of that. It's very important. Don't hold on to metal items such as golf clubs, fishing rods, tennis rackets, or tools. It makes you a lightning rod. Large metal objects can conduct lightning. We already knew that. Move away from a group of people. Okay? You'd rather have people away from you, all alone, get low to the ground. Stay several yards away from other people. So that's another number there you need to be aware of. Stay several yards away from other people. Don't share a bleacher bench or huddle in a group. And those bleacher benches, a lot of them are aluminum. Most of them are. Great conductor of electricity, and that's what lightning likes to hit. That's why on these football games and everything, when they see a thunderstorm come, they just evacuate the stadium. It's not worth the risk. All right, what if you're indoors? You may think, hey, there's no problem if I'm indoors. There's no risk there. Well, guess what? There is. I thought the same thing before I put this together. I was kind of surprised. But this is for lightning indoors. Avoid contact with corded phones and electrical equipment. All that stuff is highly conductive, okay? It's copper, most of it, and lightning likes to hit those things and go for a road show there. So be careful. Phone use is the leading cause of indoor lightning injuries in the United States. So if you have a landline, you're talking on the phone, and there's a thunderstorm, it's been known it travels through that phone cord and it gets you right in the face. It's a terrible thing. So again, phone use is the leading cause of indoor lightning injuries in the United States. If you plan to unplug any electronic equipment, do so well before the storm arrives. You don't want to touch that cord during a thunderstorm, especially those aggressive ones. Avoid contact with plumbing. Why? Because a lot of the plumbing is metal pipes, and the same reason you don't want to unplug things. Anything that's a conductor you want to stay away from. Do not wash your hands, do not take a shower, do not wash dishes, and do not do laundry. You see, I wasn't that worried about it before. Now I'm going to be a little more cautious. No, we don't want you to be crazy about this stuff. We just want you to be safe, and once you know it, you don't have to freak out about these things. Just know that and keep yourself safe. Stay away from windows and doors and stay off porches. Okay. My wife always liked rainstorms, so we moved out to Indiana for a while, and boy, you think we have thunderstorms. Go out there, they're amazing. They shake the ground and everything else on a fairly consistent basis. But we didn't know that at first, so there's a rainstorm, and she said, hey, come out on the porch and watch the rainstorm. We went out there, man, lightning struck so hard it shook the whole house, and we were running inside again. So stay off porches is another thing you want to be aware of. And fortunately, we have thunderstorms, but not like they have back in the Midwest and places like that. Another point to remember, do not lie on concrete floors and do not lean against concrete walls. Concrete floors and walls usually contain rebar, that's a metal bar, or other reinforcing metal, which is a conductor of electricity. So be aware of that. All right, congratulations, you have almost completed this module, but remember, you still need to take that module exam. Congratulations, you have completed this module. Remember to always think ahead, be prepared, be safe, and, you've got it, be happy. Have a great day. Goodbye.